I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll go ahead and start with the board that has received a minute from the October board meeting. I ask for a motion for approval.
Motion to approve minutes from the October meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved.
Two personnel items from this evening. First, looking for approval for Sharon Erdos as a substitute teacher.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved.
And then approval for Caleb Frazier as a volunteer boys basketball coach.
Make a motion to approve Caleb as a volunteer coach.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. Next item will be the claim docket.
Just a reminder, the claim docket includes the SA5. It's also
I'll make a motion to approve the claim docket.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved.
I have a quick question, Morgan. The lawnmower is signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yes, yep, Joe,
Bell.
yeah, Joe was able to get down to a trade show and meet with both manufacturer and supplier and get them on the same page, so, yeah, you might wanna say something, Joe, if you see him, he went to work for us, kept that price that you guys had approved. Scott has been able to get out on that mower and was able to get it broke in for us. He was cool last week, so it's a nice ride, great mower.
Good. Well, that would be the balance sheet. Are there any questions about the board of the balance sheet? Now we'll move on. Are there any public comments this evening?
I don't have a public comment on the agenda, but I got a public comment on the girls, and I was supposed to vote about that young lady who's fantastic. Trying to got off the start that they had.
A lot of fun.
I have a question. I was unable to get minutes off of the website. Have they been deleted?
They shouldn't have been. We are just at the beginning of stages of transitioning to a new website. We haven't started the actual process yet, so they should. But you're not seeing any there, or?
And the agenda is the only thing I got with your email. Not the website. I didn't see any board stuff or anything like that on the website.
Okay. The agenda was on the website.
I didn't see that either.
I know,
It's all I saw was on your email.
Oh, okay.
You have it attached to the email.
checking on that, Brian, because I know the agenda was the only thing that would load onto our website.
That's on there now.
Yeah, but the meeting
Maybe I just
notice.
didn't know where to look. I don't know. I looked
But
as much as
where
I
you
could.
typically look for the minutes, though, you didn't see any or just October?
None.
Okay.
That's why I thought that
Yes.
everything might have been
That's a
either
serious
removed
problem.
or in the process.
Okay, thanks for letting us know, because we need to see what's up with that.
There's no reason though that,
No, we, matter of fact, yeah, website wise, in the spring of this school year, we've got a new company that we'd like to transition to. We're still in talks with them. We like their product and we're getting a little frustrated by hours currently. So we're looking to make a change, but we haven't begun that, so I don't know what that, we'll have our technology guy look at that.
You find anything, Brian?
Any additional comments? And we'll move on to board meeting calendar.
This, you have a copy, again, this is your the third month we've looked at this, looking for final approval to make a move to Tuesday nights for 2022 for our board meetings.
Make a motion to approve the board meeting schedule for 2022.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved.
The number 8 on the agenda, where we should be getting delivery of our new sign. We're out here at the corner of the Tiger Den. And what I'm looking for approval is Justin has agreed to store the old sign until if and when we decide to do something else with it. But for the time being, to have that stored in the closet out here in town. So board approval for that.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second it.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
Then the next
We're
one,
not being charged for that, right?
no,
Okay,
no,
just checking.
yep. That's a good question. The,
Thank you.
Thank you.
yes, we do appreciate that. Number 9, the Wanatah locker room plumbing. Scott had mentioned this to me, I don't know if he brought it up to you. The shower heads, they're not working. I think we need to, what I'd like to do is next month go in there and look in those locker rooms and talk that through a little bit. Because if they're gonna be there, they need work. But at the same time, I think we need to discuss, nobody showers anymore. So it's kind of hard for me to put money into something that
The kids don't shower, they don't shower.
high likelihood of not getting used.
Athletics has kind of turned into how AAU is. You come to the game, you play, put your clothes on, go back home.
No burger wasn't like that at all.
Oh,
No,
no.
that is way,
No.
That's,
They
Yeah.
don't do that after gym class.
Even PE.
they don't,
That's
really?
just gross.
Wow.
There's other kids in here.
Is there any requirement at all that you have to have?
Yeah, is there?
Not that I know
I know, Aaron.
oh, you're asking requirement to have the
I know,
shower.
yeah.
Showers.
I guess, no, I don't know if there's
Right,
the answer to that.
right.
But it,
That's very strange.
I know, hey, people of a certain age it is,
Yeah.
but
of.
they have.
The teenagers and
I mean,
that.
there's even partitions in there now where we were there wasn't partitions.
Yeah, it was
No,
like
it's
community shower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like just one
Six
open.
head community shower.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
it is different, so I think we need to look at the setup. But we got something for us to talk about, we're gonna put money into something that doesn't get used.
Must be a lot of packs being used.
That
Something.
There is, yep.
No.
Cheap
Body
body.
invention of body spray.
No.
That's one.
There's a lot of BO.
We're going through like St. Vincent.
What if some of the Porter County Conference schools do require it? They need to have it.
I'm wondering if we keep like 2 or 3.
Right, I mean, it's,
I think there's some options in there that we can do.
So
Are
other
they
schools
not
don't
functioning
use
because
it.
they're full of calcium?
I don't know if they can.
I don't think our kids, I mean, they do it at other
that's what, it
Do
really, it's changed to the degree that
Set up like
everywhere is
cars.
the same. The showers rarely get
Wow.
a few exceptions.
It's even after football games in the mud and stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, I really don't know about football.
I'll ask our coach.
They probably do, more so.
I'll coach.
Because that's not used to.
Get right on it.
So that's what, just kind of get that on your radar screen. Next month, we'll look at those. But if we're gonna keep them, that'll be something we need to get prices on. The shower heads just are, they're old, they're not working. So,
They're probably the same shower heads that were in there when I was in.
yeah. And I can do it, they're not new, they're.
They are.
Yeah.
We had to use them though.
And then the next, number 10 on the agenda, with knowing that we're gonna get both of our floors redone. A few years back, we bought a new floor scrubber for Scott at Wanatah, but here we don't have it. Basically, Katie's taking care of this by mopping it. She does a good job. That's not the same as a floor scrubber. So I'll get pricing on that, it'll be an expenditure for us to consider. Because once we get the floor redone, we want to take care of it properly. So Scott and I will get a price similar to the other issue, is we got to get the right model that can be brought up to the floor, utilizing the stair lift. The big unit, it really can't haul it up there. So that's part of the issue too. So I'll come back with the pricing on that, but another thing on the horizon for us to consider. Principal report, Brad.
Alright, since our last meeting, we've had a lot of stuff just going on at the school. A lot of good things. High school cross country team had the Haunted Hustle 5K. They raised over $800 on that night. It wasn't I think there was about 20 people that ended up participating in it. But it definitely was something that I think has got us moving in the right direction now of things that we want to do and do differently with it. But I think it's something that'll be good.
Where'd they get that?
At Wanatah School and into the town a little bit. But I think there's some things that we can do differently. We actually talked about years ago. We used to have a haunted house inside the Lions Club and building, so maybe trying to add that into it. So that was something good, something positive. Had a Halloween dance here for the high school, and I think that's the first time I've seen the high school kids dance for 2 hours straight.
They said that was the best dance.
They danced the whole entire night. It was good to see. I mean, we had prom last year, but other than that, we didn't have anything else. So it was good to have the kids doing that. We had our first drama club production for the high school. The Butcher did it, and all the kids and Mrs. Lance are very thankful to Mr. Shepard and the board for buying the mics. That definitely helped a lot. I sat back in the bleachers and I hear everything really well this year compared to the past year, so thank you for doing that. We had a PTO startup meeting. We haven't had a PTO in 2 years. I had a startup meeting, had nine parents there, and I think we've grown to 17 now since that.
That is great.
Parents just emailing me, and not a lot of people don't want to take charge, but a lot of people don't want to help.
That's
so
awesome.
that's fine. We can put them to work, so that's a good thing going on. Last week we had the basketball extravaganza here. So 5th through 8th grade boys got to play here, and the dance and cheer teams were here, and the high school boys played, and we recognized the girls teams, and it was a lot of good things that came from that. Tiny Tiger basketball started 3K through 4 last week. Mr. Shepard took a big lead on that, and so we had a total, I think, of close to 60 of our kids in that 3K through 4. Girls basketball team is off to a 4-0 start. Hopefully 5-0 after tonight. I think the biggest thing it's been really good watching the girls play, but being at a home game right now, the boys have definitely done a great job with the pep block. We got 13 cheerleaders. They've done an amazing job and getting things going, and the pep block's been up and going. So it's been nice having people back in the gym, unlike last year where we couldn't. And the last thing we had our Leo's club has over 50 kids in it now, And we had to find 12 to go to 530 Keys on Monday. And I think about 45 of them wanted to go. But we had girls book group that night, we had basketball practice that night, we had so many different things, so we were able to find 11 kids to go. And they really enjoyed it. I think Mr. Cruz and Mr. Bruder are going as well. I know Chad's gone in the past, and it's a really neat experience, so that was my first time going, and I really enjoyed it. I got to be a box master, so.
Need some help there.
So,
Chad, you needed help with it.
You did boxes too, didn't you?
I did. Brian has some quality, non-conforming product.
It was the tape. You
I'll
got
learn.
that tape.
I have bad tape, so.
China tape.
But yeah, so, things are going good, so that's all I got.
Kudos to the kids too that stood with us up in town. And everyone was, he's 27, 28 or now.
Oh, yeah, the Leo's Club,
Yeah.
on Candy Day.
Yep.
Yep, did a really nice job.
It's really exciting to see, like it used to be like between, like you said, the cheerleaders, the people in the gym, and all the money you have at Leo's, and you can see all this
Everything coming
Yeah.
together.
passion and everything for the school.
And the basketball straight games is something you gotta do.
Oh, every,
That was a pretty good money maker.
Yeah, and that was just donations.
Concessions was like $600 that night.
And so, yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, it was a good kickoff.
And all the kids enjoyed it.
Flowed nicely
Yeah.
with the girls. That was Michigan City on the Thursday night.
Yeah.
So we got the girls beat Michigan City Thursday night. Friday, the extravaganza, that was, the neat thing was, you would expect from the 5:30, 5th and 6th graders, you would have thought mom and dad would have got up and left. I don't think a single person left the gym and stayed until past 8 o'clock. So that was cool.
Garrett Mertz signed an autograph.
Was it the mullet? The mullet that
No, Gary Bird hit 8 threes that night.
Scored 26 of 30 points in the
Wow.
good court.
Great. I heard it's doing a perfect campaign.
Hometown? Oh, wait. Hometown?
Gary Bird, where's number 33?
Morgan Wallen.
No, Gary Bird's calling the Cardinals, not calling the tail. Yes, I do.
And then off that Friday night into Saturday morning, it continued. Brian mentioned the little kids basketball segment. That was all hands on deck. Brian, it was
Amy.
Amy had a station.
Yeah.
Amy and Brian's wife had a station for us. I had a station. Brian, all of our varsity kids, boys and girls, came in for a segment that helped us. So giving basketball instruction, it was fun.
And I will add to that, the Christian church out on 30, we're gonna start having practices for our K through 4, our pre-K through 4 kids for Tiny Tigers. And it's hard to find gym time right now between the two gyms, so they're allowing us to use their gym.
That's nice.
They have a nice gym there, right?
Yeah, it's a real nice gym inside there, so they're gonna allow us to use that for those practices
That's great.
during the week. We're at one practice a week. So, very thankful to them.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And then I was able to see last Saturday night the sort of second showing of the play. Very impressed with our kids. And yeah, the new microphones really elevated things greatly. Now, they improved things tremendously, but they also brought a new thing into play that we will want to address when we choose to. They're so good, the sound quality, that now you get a little bit of echo. So what might finish it off is some sort of sound boards. Yeah, we've got to get that. Once that's ironed out, it'll really be a perfect venue for plays and things like that.
Are they utilizing those for the Christmas concert?
Not for sure.
Kelly, I have to tell you, I had the funniest, and I don't remember who it was, but the little boy came up and asked for his dad's handkerchief. And he's like, what do you need that for? I gotta give it to Mr. Shepherd, he's sweating.
Is that
So cute.
when I was officiating?
Yes.
Yeah, mine was Braxton Braxton Matthews, of course, yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
cute
He did,
though.
he said something to him.
He did.
Just a kid, hey, get back up. It was a good weekend. That's really.
Motion adjourned.
A second.
Next meeting, December 16th at Wanatah.
So your new schedule will be on Tuesday night, right? Next year?
Yep.
And
Second or third or what?
Second.
Second Tuesday of the month.